I apologize if this class did not meet your expectations. It's my biggest fear. Students I don't know come up to me sometimes and ask, when am I going to take your class? Or I can't wait until you teach me. But I don't know why. I'm no better than any other science or math teacher on campus, and I can barely control you guys. I put people in really, really deep sleeps, and I'm less interesting than a cell phone. I know my weaknesses as a teacher, and I know there are some of you that decided to never take math or science ever again. And maybe partially because I haven't made it exciting for you. Also because of my own classes and because I have a baby, I haven't been as supportive to you all in your sports and extracurricular activities. I used to always take pride in always being there, and for the first time I feel like I really missed out on your soccer, softball, baseball, football, basketball, volleyball games, your track meets, and your music and theater performances. I feel terrible about it. And for all these things, and for those of you that this is true, I really apologize. But on the other hand, like I've said, you have made true differences in my life. When I left Apple 6 years ago, I took a huge leap of faith to leave the best job in the world, to answer a calling from God to go into teaching and try to inspire lives. But I was wrong. Instead, I was the one being inspired by you. You all have such bright futures ahead of you, and I'm just so lucky to be a part of your journeys. Y'all are always shocked when I say that you were smarter than me when I was your age. And it's true. And on top of that, you guys do so many extracurricular activities, and you actually have a social life. Two things I didn't have. Trust me, it's true. If I had any last lessons or advice for you, or my last lesson to you guys, it's to trust your gut. Johanna and I one time read this Best Advice for Teenage Girls blog. And it said one of the worst decisions or advice that you can get is to trust your heart. And in some respects it's true. But in actuality, trusting your heart is probably one of the worst things you can do. I read a book called Blink. I actually finished it on the plane to China. You all should read it. And it's all about decision making. The funny thing is that even though it's unrelated, this teenage blog and this book were actually agreed with something that I read earlier with Johanna. They also said to go with your gut. They say that in any huge decision that you make, your first reaction is almost always the best one. If you take time to think more and more about a decision and get more information, people tend to lose sight of what your real feeling was and is. It has always been true for me. Whether it's the school I go to, my wife, my career, going with my guts and my brain has been the smartest thing I've ever done. So as I move forward, I hope you guys take that to heart. On that note, I have an announcement for you all that goes along with that advice. I don't know how to say it to you all, so I guess I'll just say it. I am unfortunately not going to return to St. Anthony next year. You might be confused, but I chose a gut decision based on a lot of things. The main reason is because I got a promotion at another school that is only 5 miles away from my wife's work and my new home. This allows me to spend more time with my family. I had a tough relationship with my dad, and some of you can relate, and I don't want to be that way with my wife and my newborn son, Trey. I don't expect you to understand, but hopefully you guys are mature enough and one day will understand. This is not to say that this was the easiest decision in the world. As a matter of fact, it was the hardest, harder than leaving Apple. And the reason why is because I don't want to leave you all. I could care less about the people I work for and some teachers that I work with, but it's you all that makes this so hard. I want to sing a song. It's a tradition for all my speeches. And it sort of resonated with me as I went through this decision. Some of you may have heard it, and I'm probably not going to do it justice because I'm a terrible singer. And it's called Landslide, but I can't really sing. I don't want to sing this.
Sing it!
We'll sing it with you.
This is terrible.
Where's your class?
Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. but time makes you bolder. Children get older, and I'm getting older too. And that's it. What I got from this song, I'm pretty sure the artist didn't